Okay, Brent, and good having you in for your first session. You're a very athletic individual. You hit, a lot of good shots. Your tendency was to hit a little pull cut, or you said sometimes a pull hook on the golf course. Both of them are pull path, and we're going to kind of go through what was causing that, and then what we worked on to improve your technique. Setup-wise, you look pretty good. You're 6'6", and you got standard set of clubs. You're probably at a zone where you could use an extra inch to inch and a half of length in your shaft, and that's something we'll take a look at in the future. But all in all, you're in pretty good position right here. Your initial move away was kind of a push away, extension away with the hands and the club, trying to work on a straight line. You notice how you're going above that original shaft plane, and in doing so, you extend your arms really far away from your core, so they basically disconnect from your rotators, which are your shoulders and your hips. And so when you go in a straight line like this, you lose the potential of turning and creating centrifugal force. At this particular point, your hands are above your waist, but you did not set any kind of wrist, so you've got the club out of balance and hyperextended away from you. And you're doing a really good job of trying to keep your center, but certainly it pulls you over a little bit, and then by the time you get to the top, your arms are not in a very good extended position. You're kind of bent at the elbows to kind of bring it in. This causes a typical early spring of the club from the top. What you're seeing, the angle of your shaft and your left forearm kind of spring out. So you're losing your wrist cock, the wrist cock you did get at the top. It kind of becomes a buggy whip, and that's what's causing the path of the club to work a little bit from the outside. And you'll definitely see it from down the line view. Watch how your hands aren't going to move much at all at this particular point, but you're going to see the club head start to really spring quickly. So that's hard to control. Once that club head starts to lose, it starts to spring forward like that, it's in control of your path and you're not. So it's going to tend to kind of get a little bit on the outside, which you can see it is, and then you just pull back into the shot, which is going to cause for you to bank tilt that axis from the outside and cause you to hit slices or pulls, one or the other, depending on how you hit it on the face. So what did we do? We cleaned it up by doing a couple key things. The first thing I had you do is work on feeling like your handle came close to your right thigh, and you hinge the club up very abruptly, very quickly. So let's take a look at that little drill I had you doing. And there it is right here. Okay. There is your wrist cock, and then you turned it to the top. So by the time you got to hip high, setting that club, getting a good hinge, and you'll notice that you've got better shoulder turn as a result of that, and you got better hip turn as a result of that. And then from here, you just rotated that right shoulder a little bit more towards center, towards your spine, and your arms were in better extension, and certainly you had a much better rotation of your torso. So and you lost kind of that swaying look. See how your right leg is kind of working, bowing outward right here, instead of looking like it's staying in a good athletic firm position, holding foundation nicely right there. So it cleaned up a variety of issues that we had going on. That allowed for you to then start to get that club delivered down a little bit more. And the other key ingredient I gave you is the feeling that on the downswing, you got the handle bringing that angle down. Now this is in real-time motion. You see how that club is almost completely released by the time it gets to your hands get to your right thigh. And so I showed you some examples of some good swings. Here's Hunter Mayhem. I love this golf swing, and makes a really good pivot his delivery coming down. You can see how his hands are in the same position of yours, and he's got a lot of control of that angle of approach still, which allows him to get a good forward shaft lean, good control of the angle of approach, and pivot everything through into a good balanced finish. So start of the downswing was a pull that starts with your left heel planting. That's it. And you feeling like you can maintain the angle between your wrists and your left forearm and deliver those hands right down onto your thigh. And that was a good delivery feeling. The more you can rehearse the hinge going back, the number 2 position, and the delivery position coming down, the number 4 position, like what we have with the Ben Hogan. There's Ben Hogan's 4th position right there in the start of his downswing. The better you can really focus on those 2 critical areas in slower motion behind the ball, the more you're going to condition those aspects into your new formed habit. So keep up the good work. We look forward to seeing your progress here in the near future. Until next time, happy golfing.